It's Natasha. Welcome to a kettlebell and bench workout. Hopefully you have some kind of prop you can step onto, and a set of kettlebells or dumbbells will do as well. Quick warm up. Inhale, arms overhead. Grab your opposite elbow, give those elbows a tug back, opening up the shoulders, and then bind the hands behind the back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Crisscross the arms. Inhale and exhale. Good mornings. We're going to come up on the inhale and exhale flat back on the way down. Lift and halfway fold. Think of sending the chest and the head forward as you send that booty back, trying to find some space in the hamstrings and engagement through your core. Release into a forward fold. Head heavy as you ragdoll up. We're squatting and side stretching here. Squat, side bend. Going through some warm-up drills, trying to hit all the angles of stretching and activating the muscles. Squat, possibly touching elbows to knees, and then reach out over to the side as far as you can stretch. You can kind of tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the glutes, push your hips in opposition. Toy soldiers, opposite toe to finger tap with a gentle spinal twist as you rotate to tap those toes. Try to keep the legs and arms as long as you can, initiating the move from your core. Change that toe tap across to the bottom toe, keeping the feet grounded and wide. Stand and opposite toe tap as you fold. Inhale and exhale. Getting a little deeper in your bend and adding that spinal rotation again. Lateral lunges. Lift and sit. Sit to the right and sit to the left. Bringing your weight into your heel, trying to get your hips behind your knee. You might start to go deeper if you have that range of motion. No force. Try to keep the heel grounded. Next exercise, meet me down in a downward facing dog. Palms spread wide, pedal, bend one knee, bend the other. Getting ready for some spinal waves. Roll forward and arch back. Think cat back, round forward, and then lift the tailbone, chest to toes. Trying to feel like this fluidity of the spine, rounding forward, arching back. You can bend your knees and elbows if you need to, or you can keep them straight. Moving into lizard lunge, twist and release. Step your right foot out, twist right arm up, put it down and step back. Lizard lunge, left. Rotation through the spine, stack shoulders, step back. Couple more. Find a nice pace to get that heart rate up a bit. Lizard lunge, rotate, twist, hand down, step back. Lizard, twist, hand down, step back. Plank to forearm plank. Go ahead and lower down to those elbows and swoosh the hips down for Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders, pry the heart open, lifting and lowering from Sphinx push-up to forearm plank. You're going to lift your elbows and then round the spine as you tuck onto the toes. Sphinx, elbows straighten and bend, tuck toes, forearm plank. Think of doming the back, round the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, high forearm plank, Sphinx push up. Do it again, lift and lower, lifting into a cobra, little hamstring curl on each side, up dog on toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. I hope you feel pretty warmed up here. Walk yourself to a forward fold and ragdoll up. Shake out those wrists, fingers, shoulders. Maybe hit pause if you feel like you need a little more time. Otherwise, we're getting right into the drills. Starting with some deadlifts. I would grab your heavier bell if you have one. Go ahead and set yourself up with your feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to hip hinge to grab, keep the arms long, and lift those hips forward. Raise your shoulders over your hips. Hip hinge, tap, and thrust the hips forward. So it is not really a squat. We are thinking about hinging at the hips, sending your chest forward and your butt back. Going through about 10 of each exercise here, and then we'll do some timed sets of drills. Set that aside. Step ups, right, left, right. 10 step ups. Try to step all the way into the middle of your bench. If you don't have a bench, use your couch, a chair, a stool. Get creative. Step up and down. Back to your kettlebell move, going into single swings. Hike the bell back, swing, and set it down. Hike, swing, hips thrust forward, weight flies up. Get that weightless moment at the top, and then set it down in between. Set it down, always maintain a flat back. We're doing 10 of these. Brace your core. We do not want to round the spine. Flat back, hip thrust. Set it down. Bend the knees as much as you need to, but keep the spine long. Quick rest, moving into 10 swings consecutively now. Hike and swing. The height of your swing is going to depend on the weight of your bell. If you're going really heavy, you might only go like shoulder height. If you have a pretty light bell, you might go about 45 degrees up. I think I'm using my 25-pound here. And quick break. Set the kettlebell aside, back to your bench move. We're going to do a push-up and a side plank for 10. Push-up, open up, side plank. One push-up, open up, side plank in your push-up. Spread those fingers, trying to get your elbows about 45 degrees out to the sides. Core is braced, no saggy hips or butts in the air. Beautiful job. Quick stretch and a down dog if you need to. Walk it out. If you need to get water, towel off, any of that good stuff, feel free. We're going into box jumps next. So we're going to try to jump up to the center of the box, light, soft landing, and step off or jump off 10 times. If you don't like to jump, step up again, 10 step ups. Use momentum from your arms to give you that big height in the jump. Soft knees to brace the landings if you are jumping. Back to a kettlebell move. We're going to go hand-to-hand swings. So if you have a really heavy bell, you might go to a slightly lighter one. Or if you're using the same weight, that's okay too. Use the recovery time any way you want, whether you want to do some jumping jacks and keep the cardio going, or you want to stretch or just rest like I'm doing. Go ahead and grab that bell, single hand to hand. You're going to switch at the top of your swing. At that weightless moment, switch hands. So your hands might be slightly on the corners of the bell, so you have space to just transfer. 10 times here. Momentum from the hips. Set it down, moving into high pulls. Thrust the hips, elbows wide and high, zipping up like it's a sweatshirt right up the body. Momentum from those hips, that weightless moment at the top. Set the kettlebell aside. Breathe, come back to your bench exercise. We're going to have a seat and bring those legs up and over. Little abdominal exercise, lift and lower. You can do this on the mat if you don't have a bench. Legs up and over like a Russian twist. Awesome. Back to your kettlebell move. Second set of high pulls will go all the way to an overhead press. Your palms might open, your thumbs kind of press through the bell. So up and push. You can't really see the top of my hands here, but I'm pressing my thumbs through. I'm opening my fingers as I get to high pull to overhead press. It's a full high pull. Do what feels natural to you. It's the same elbows out to the side, kettlebell right up the body. Big exhale as you thrust those hips forward. Keep that in mind. And our recovery time, going back to a bench exercise. You're going to have a seat on your bench. Sit up to opposite toe tap. Of course, you can do this on the mat as well. Sit up, opposite toe tap. Exhale. Keep the chin tucked as you lift so the weight of your head doesn't drag you back. Nice job. Quick recovery. Back to a kettlebell move. We have some cleans. Essentially, you're racking the weight at your shoulder. Your thumb comes to your sternum and your elbow is by your rib cage. And we're kind of swinging the weight over it and around the forearm. There's your clean. Practice it. It does take a little practice to not slam the weight on your forearm. Try to just roll it over in one swift move. Again, using momentum from the hips. Here's 5 per side practicing. Elbow by rib cage, thumb by chest. And quick break. This next move might take some practice. Do not feel bad if you're not getting it right away. We're going to swing, switch, clean. Switch, clean, rack. Swing, switch arms. So the clean happens as you switch. One swing, switch, and clean. Wrapping the kettlebell over the forearm, still bringing your thumb to your chest. Practice the move. And if you ever lose the flow of it, just take a moment and reset. Try again. Just happened to me. All right, we're moving into some timed drills now. Take some time to walk around or stretch, and we'll be working for 1 minute, 3 exercises with a quick 20-second rest or transition time in between. The first move will be swings, high and low. So you're gonna swing regular and then you're gonna swing as you squat. Again, if you haven't done the squat swing, it might take a little practice, but you have a full minute to practice and get it. Grab maybe your heavier bell, and here we go. Swing low, swing high. Sit in your squat on one swing, and then thrust your hips forward regular on the other swing. One high, one low. Practice swinging and sitting, and then getting that momentum right back up. It's a little bit tricky. Glutes, hamstrings, core. Use the breath, exhale on the swings. Nice. Set that down. Take a moment here. You might go to a lighter bell. Moving into a stag row into a clean. Switching sides. All right, go ahead and grab that bell for a row into a clean. Row and clean. set it down and switch. Row elbow up and then lift your chest as you draw your thumb to sternum. We practice the cleans, flipping the weight over the forearm with that momentum from the hips. Row, clean. The bent over row is about 45 degrees or so bent over, and then you lift your chest, get under the bell on your clean. Full minute. You did it. Take your 20 seconds off and moving into our third exercise. This one, again, might be a little tricky as you're learning it. Don't feel bad. Just try and play with it. Get it. You can always repeat these drills or repeat the class and you'll get it a little better the next time. All right, let's start with the bell in our left hand. Your left foot is going to lunge as you pass it into the right hand. Pass. Left knee, side lunge, side swing. Now pass it to the left hand, right foot steps back, high knee, side swing. I'm moving quick, so just take your time to learn it. It's one lunge, switch hands, knee, side lateral lunge with a side swing. Pass it under, knee, side lunge, side swing. Pass it under, step back. The foot that steps back is the same side that you have the weight in. You pass it to the other hand, side lateral lunge. Regular lunge, knee, side lunge, step together. Step back, lunge, knee, side lunge, step in. If the kettlebell is really confusing you, you can set it down and do the move without it. Or again, just pause and practice it. It's one lunge, pass under the leg, knee, side lunge. All right, that was it. That one I know was a little trickier, but I believe in you. You can do it. Maybe try it again. Otherwise, we're on a recovery break. We're gonna do a bench exercise in between those timed kettlebell drills. Set up your bench. Another side lunge movement. Lunge to the left, step up left. Step down, right elbow down, side kick. You don't have to bring your elbow down. You could just bring your hand down and side kick. So that was just to show you. Here we go. Side lunge, knee, step up. Hand or forearm down, and then swing your leg to the side kick. Repeat. Side lunge, step on top, tap. Come down, hands or forearms to bench, side kick. Keep going, lift. Lateral lunge, step on top. Step down, that same leg kicks across your body, side kick. A couple more times, we'll do about 5 per side to get to 10. Hands down, side kick, maybe lower to forearm. Doesn't matter if you're doing exactly what I'm doing. You're just trying to move and have fun with movement. Let's move to the other side. Side lunge. Now step up, step down, side kick. Knee in, lateral lunge. Step on top of your bench. Step down, hands or forearms down, lateral kick, fire hydrant. Step to the side, step on top. Bring your hands to the bench, side kick. Again, lift and side lunge. Step on top, tap, come down, hands down, side kick. Last one, lateral lunge. Step on top, step down, hands down, side kick. Woo, good job. Set that bench away, coming back to 3 kettlebell drills. 1 minute each move. We have a windmill, squat to press. A windmill looks just like triangle pose in yoga. To get the kettlebell over the head, we are doing a snatch, which is quite a difficult kettlebell move. If you're not there yet, you could always use a dumbbell or just go ahead and practice. It's almost like a clean that goes all the way up, high pull all the way up. Here we go, windmill, squat, push press. Set it down. Snatch up, turn your toes. As you side bend, try to stack your shoulders over your hips. Again, think of triangle pose if you're familiar with yoga. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Don't worry about having tight hamstrings. And you don't have to dip down as low as I'm going. If you just want to dip down a little bit and come back up, that works too. You'll feel this in your obliques, your hamstrings. One snatch, windmill, turn your toes the direction you're going, squat to press. Try to punch that weight right over the shoulder. So if you have a heavier weight, you're gonna squat and really use your hips to push the bell over the head. Awesome job. Our next exercise will be a deadlift to a burpee. Go with your heavier weight here. Set yourself up with room behind you so you can jump back into that plank position. Here we go, deadlift, jump back, push up. Jump in, flat back, grab on, and stand. So you have a couple options. You can make it a very small push-up, or you can start to flip the weight so the handle is out of your way and then push up to the bell. See what works for you. I'm first starting out with a mini push-up, just tapping my chest to the handle. Now I'm gonna flip the weight down, pull it up, stand up, deadlift, flip it, bringing my chest to the bell, push up, jump in. If you don't wanna jump, you can always step back your burpees without jumping. When you jump back, really strong through the shoulders and core so your hips don't swing down or sag. Awesome. 20 seconds rest. You can set the kettlebell down. Going into a kneeling hip thrust to a halo. You could keep the same size bell, or you might downsize a little bit if you have choices here. We're going to come into a kneeling position. Bicep curl hip thrust, halo, bell around the head. Sit. Curl thrust, halo, bell around the head. Try to keep the elbows close to the body. And you'll feel shoulders, biceps, triceps on that hip thrust. Squeeze that booty forward. Curl the weight to your chest. And just remember to alternate. So sweeping it to the left around the head. Sit, thrust, sweep it around the right. If you have bad knees, you could just do this standing, or you could pad up your knees for extra support. Sorry about my dog here. He's barking at a neighbor. Awesome job. Again, use your breaks as you see fit. I'm sitting down and drinking water, letting my body rest because I'm challenging myself with a heavier kettlebell today. If you feel like you want to keep doing some step ups, some box jumps, jumping jacks, or stretching here, that's your call. The final round of 3 exercises will be done on the mat, focusing on the core. So we're going to be laying down for the next exercises, and then we'll go back to our final bench exercise. All right, you can start setting yourself up. We're doing a bottom of the Turkish Get Up. So you're gonna hold your weight in one arm and roll down through the forearm along the spine and back up. So it'll be like a Pilates roll on one side. Come onto your back, bring the kettlebell. To get it over the head, you can just kind of rack and push press it over. You'll bend your right knee, the same side knee of the hand that has the kettlebell. Then use the arm to roll down, roll up, press yourself into side plank, walk and stack, come back, and switch sides. Switch knees and hands. Bend the knee, left hand, push press. Roll down the spine, tuck the chin, roll up the spine, press into that right hand, stack for side plank. So you'll need to maneuver your arms a little bit and your legs into positions that work for you. When you roll down and roll up, use the arm as much as you need, then maybe walk the arm a little bit longer for your side plank. Kind of play around with what works in your body. We're all going to be different here. If you don't need that bottom arm on the abdominal roll, you don't even have to use it. You can make it a little harder for yourself. So essentially one little Pilates style roll, roll down, roll up, press up into side plank. Great job. The next one, all we're going to be doing is an overhead lat pull down into a bridge hip thrust. Set your feet under your knees, about shoulder or hip width apart. Take the weight over the head, about to your pubic bone or your hips, and here we go. Then thrust the hips up and down. Arms over the head and down. You can try to keep those elbows fairly straight as you pull down. Engage the sides of the back. Keep a neutral spine. Then lift your hips and squeeze your butt. And you can play around with, if you feel like it's too easy, maybe doing a single leg bridge, lifting one foot off the mat. You could put your heels down or just your toes down to make it a little less stable. Keep going. I'm trying to get the sun out of my face, so I'm spinning around, but all it is a lat pull down and a bridge thrust up. All right, our final minute, we're doing a full Pilates style roll, rolling down the spine and adding some upper body strength. So you're gonna start in like a bicep curl rack position, holding the handles. Now go push press, roll down the spine. Chest press, chest and up, skull crusher over the head, bend the elbows and straighten them. As you roll up, bring the weight to your belly like a bicep curl. Push press, roll down, chest press, skull crusher. Take your time. You don't have to go super quick. Roll up to that bicep curl. Push press, roll down, chest press, bend the elbows, weight right by the forehead, skull crusher. Pull the weight into the belly as you drive up, and then shoulder press and roll down. Good. Use the breath, take your time. Push, press, roll down the spine, chest press, skull crusher, bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, tuck the chin as you drive the weight to your belly, then push, press it up. You got this. Beautiful job. Set the weight aside. We're going to come into some bench work for some hip thrusters. Again, if you don't have access to a step platform, just put your shoulders on the edge of like your couch or a chair. Here we go. Single leg hip thruster. Your shoulder blades are over. You can support your head with your hands or just keep your neck neutral, alternating knee tucks as you drive into that supporting foot. Feel your glutes and hamstrings activate. Moving into some tricep dips, fingers hang off the prop, elbows are going to bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. You can alternate extending a leg out to add a little bit more weight into the upper body. Bend and straightening the elbows to hit those triceps. And you got it. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and do some stretching. We'll do some active stretching, and you made it through the workout. Feel free to repeat any sections if you don't feel like you got enough. Downward facing dog on your prop or on the mat. Rolling forward into upward facing dog. Exhale, press back. Round the spine forward, swing the hips through, shoulders down and back, chest towards toes. Rolling planks to up dog. And exhale, step the right foot on top for a low lunge, elevated, or again, this can be done right on the mat. And we'll shift back to a hamstring stretch. Take a breath in as you elongate the spine and move into a quad stretch. Outside top of the foot, tuck the pelvis under, knees towards each other, and switch. Left foot up, your lunge. Any movements here, and of course you can take longer than I'm giving you. Take a hamstring stretch, flex the toes back, chest forward, into your quad stretch, outside top of the foot, a little bit of core for balance, tuck the pelvis, knees towards each other. Lateral bend, and then a gentle back bend and curl. Drop into your forward fold, shake out that head, and ragdoll yourself up. Thank you so much for working out with me. Let me know how it went, and I'll see you next time.